Mike is the person doing the technique, and I step in with a punch, and I short shot him, then he's got to move into me to block. And he's doing motions that he would not have to do for real. I'm making him overwork, basically. If I don't try to hit him, I'm not helping him or put him able to reach at all. So in my school, we use ear grabs and shoot this side so you can see. So right punch or left punch, I'm grabbing his ear because then I could hit him. If I could grab his ear, my hand would have enough penetration where it could be a punch. And then later on, we go slaps and then try to slap his face because then only gets a red jaw. To lose the teeth and whatever. But he has to learn to buck force. And that's what I was talking about earlier. Like, if I tell Mike to do 5 swords, and he does, like, what happened? What happened? Let's see. I threw it a little harder than he thought I was going to, and knocked him off position. And it short-circuited the thought process. Oh my God, what happened? And I didn't swing near as hard as the guy out of the street can swing. You're used to this. See, I simulated the punch, now he simulates the block, and then comes in to do his technique. So you have to learn to block, you really have to get some oomph on them, because or else you're really going to be surprised when you try to block and you get knocked out of position, and then you're short-circuited. And that's what we try to do to our opponent, is short-circuit him, not the other way around. So, we're going to work, everybody here knows a shielding hammer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me see you do it when I say move the thing. Not my students. Man had his hand up first. What's your name? Scott. What school are you from? Oh, died. Never heard of that. It's called go back to dirt. And together the best team. Okay, so much when you're doing the technique. Okay, now, this is, we'll say added rate. Oh, you can do shielding hammer. Okay. That means I got to put this hand behind, put the heel on my feet, I come in, I go around that spine, get hit, okay? But now, what's this technique against? Most people are right-handed, aren't they? How many lefties we got in here? 1, 2, how many? 3, 4. 4 lefties out of the whole group. Now, the system is based on a strong side. It doesn't matter if you're right-handed or left-handed, but the way you learn something. That's how you're going to react. A lot of schools you go to, they say, okay, here's this for right punch. Now for left, you just do the other side. Balancing. Impossible. It's impossible because your brain won't let you do that. You understand that? You would never be walking down the street and the guy pop out now with a pipe and say, wait a minute, I'm going to try my left side. Your brain will only let you react strong side. If you're left, it's going to be left. Right, it's going to be right. But here, most people are right-handed. And so I'm throwing him left. That means what?
That's the right one.
Yeah. Always. Always the right hand is coming. There's no such thing as a technique for a right punch or a left punch. This never happens. Oh! Makes me mad, he blocked me. You understand? No, as soon as that's blocked, well, this is coming. Well, this is coming again. Well, I'm going to keep firing until he does something to stop me from firing. Understand? See, so the guy's throwing the left, so here's really what you think about what's going on. That. What was that reaction? The first reaction. See that? This is what you have to train for. See, this guy's throwing you a left. Hey, like a boxer. Most boxers are right-handed. Where do they stand on the side forward and jab for? Trying to set you up with the one that's going to take you out. Right? See, so this is what we're going to work on now is the guy throwing the left because the right hand is coming. So in the scenario, you're going to be doing shielding hammer. So he's going to drop back and block. As soon as he blocks, I'm going to put that hand down and unload the right, like he will do. Remember, karate is taught where you know everything, the man you're fighting knows nothing. That's the premise behind you learning karate. The secret art of self. Hey, nobody knows this, but it's not very true anymore. A lot of people know how to fight. He's got 2 hands and 2 feet just like you do. He's going to use them just like you do. So, we're saying, he's blocking, I'll put this hand down, and I'll load this hand. Now, you've got 2 choices. You can either handle it on the outside, like he's doing, or handle it on the inside and extend it out. We'll go both ways on this. Right now, I want you to extend it out. Okay, now, He didn't do anything because his hand was blocking. When this hand comes, he's doing the same thing, blocking. Okay? But this hand's going to come again if he stays there. If he stays in front of me, well, I'll keep and use other things too because he's in front of me. The bullfighter doesn't stand in front of the bull. So we're going to zone this person. Okay, so he's, first of all, when we move, we're going to move to the 730 corner. Everybody knows what 730 is. Block principle, that's where we're going to move. He's coming in to the left. You drop back and block. He's going to hook that hand down and throw that punch. I'm going to block this, and I'm going to go over to get away from this hand. So I'm going to use, we can go on the circle. There's three things we can do with the circle. We're going to stay on the circle, reverse it, or cut it in half. So if I start it this way, I can stay on the circle, or I can reverse the circle, or I can cut the circle in half. All right, but here, I want you to come underneath, and we're just going to zone over to 730 to get away from the left hand and hand into it again. You got that? It's very simple. When he hooks the hand down and fires, as soon as I block, I'm going to move over, and the steps are back foot first, so I have 2 steps instead of 3. I go 1, 2. If I move my front foot first, I get 1, 2, 3. So move the one that gives you the least amount of steps. Back foot moves first. Got it? To the corner. Move into the corner. Get away from the sandwich. Let's just get that part down and we'll take it to it from there. Now, you punch. When he hooks the hand down, he's going to unload the other hand. Block it with a short extended outward and move to the outside of it. Go ahead. We're going there. It's called seek the center line. Okay, some of you, when you're moving, you're going around here behind a block. And you're hiding the line of injury. You don't have a line of injury on any night. You don't have a target to shoot at. Don't throw it in the ag block. You want to be over here like the principal, as if I was doing, gives me a left kick. See? And I'm doing, what? Thrusting salute left-handed. See, I move to the center, I put him and a horse in front of me where I have the best line of entry I can ask for. Okay, so don't hide the targets once you get there. That's why we want 730. Or just think, look at his center line. When he comes in with a punch, all you need to do is you stop saying, no matter what, I'm going to move over here, where his center line is. Don't go over to 45 degrees more and close that off. Get back at it. I want you to think. When you move, some of you doing this one. It's getting away and creating a gap, and the fight's still on. I don't want that. I want to stay in control. And when I have hands on, right here, I'm touching. When I move, I'm in basically crossing talon position. I've got his hand. Use as my lever or whatever I want to do. I can control the fight. So I want you to stay in close and not get away as the fight's still on. Okay? So go ahead and hit if you want to. Just get the range. I have the range. Just hit your crossing talon position where you can control it. We do it a couple more times. Can do like this. We had the technique, we went around and said, okay, you can be in your arm bar, you can third-hand it with your wrist compression, do the wrist break, take it down, whatever. But I don't want to use this because this is stuff you already know. You know crossing talon. So you can change the shielding hammer and make this a change over rather than crossing talon. So we're going to do some stuff that a lot of you haven't done before. And that's what the definition of seminar is. A group of students working under a professor on advanced materials. It's not new to you and hard. It's a regular old class. So we're working how many of you do lock close?
Yes, sir.
A lot of you? How many don't do lock close? How many? A lot of you decided I don't know what lock close is. The lock close is like when you have your hand on somebody, you can change anytime because of resistance. You don't resist. You go with the flow and change the lock into another lock. Something that you need to learn. Whether you have your free techniques and your control techniques. Free techniques like 5 swords. You're hitting him into position. You're trying to position him with strikes. And if you have your hands like across the talon, this is a hands-on. I'm controlling him. I'm trying to put him where I want him by pressuring and manipulation, contact manipulation, put him there. This is lock hold that we're working on. So, work to do this again. Cancel, and we go in, okay, we're going to zone this out. So what you're passing through here is the X lock position. You're going right under that, so your right hand is going to make the grab and control. And when we move around, we made this control, and I have to turn him palm out. Not palm down, not palm up, palm out. This makes my stop. So when I turn this back, and I shuffle in an uppercut, punch him in the ribs. Nope. I'm using a punch, it's not a punch. This is a wrist compression that will sprain and break the wrist and bend the arm to take us into the lock that we're looking for. So when I crank this back, this is not really a punch, you just treat it that way. But I want the punch to go up. So you can change your line of force to the roof. What you're trying to do is you make him elbow a hole in the roof. If his elbow doesn't go straight toward the roof, your line of force is not right. Okay? Once you get the hand here, you're changing it up. And that's what will bring the hand up. And we just lock onto the elbow. And we now have the wrist compression in the lock. Now, some systems teach this lock, let it go, and pull it. And he gets out of there and fights off again. So we're treating this as a stop. And look at this as a V. This is a V. It comes from my arm, comes from my own body angle. It's a stop. His hand is straight, I compliment his hand, gets me to the same stop. So whether I follow this line of the V or this line of the V, it's a stop. Understand that? Sure. See, so when I crank this out, that's what I do. So I just follow that in, and by holding the wrist, he can't get out the front, and he can't get out the back. If I let this go, and I didn't have a good lock here, we get up the back, and crank it, counter me, pop out the front, and the fight's on again. Got it? Okay, so crank that back, and punch it up, and lock onto the elbow, not the forearm. Slow motion, working slow motion, here's my block, cancel, whoops, here comes this, let's bring this around, and take it right into your lock. Got it? Okay, try to put that together. The question was asked, aren't you over there for a left hand or something? I said, no. What we're doing, if you stop there, you are. You're not stopping there. I stopped on the lock, so we gave you time to work on the lock. Right? As soon as you have the lock, you're going in, and you crank on this. He's going down like a rocket. He's going to run right into your knee. Okay? He's going to run right into your knee. So I didn't want you thinking about the knee and not making the lock. You understand? So that's what we stopped here. We're doing a hand isolation like this. We're going. Oh, I see. Yeah. You stand on a horse. I've put hand isolation in all forms of things before. You stand on a horse and you do different things. You know, with your hands, whatever. That's food for thought. It says, look, study this. Think about it. This is what we're doing. So just stop. Make sure you get the lock before we start to put the rest of the moves to it. You got it? Okay, so back to it. And you be loaded. You come in and say, yeah, you're going down. You could run right into that knee or something else I might want to throw. Okay, have at it a few more times.
I'm also interested in the instruction. Maybe a little bit of our guys doing technique. We don't have enough battery. Well, we got enough battery. That's how long they class.
Everything is what if. What if. Now, what if you're too slow? Is when you get that other hand off. So you're watching the position. We're not doing that. When you get in here, and you were a little slow to get into this, that left hand's going to come. So, the same thing that he did to you, you have to do to him. This hand is in your way, I just don't want to let this go because there's another rule that we have, is keep your hands above the opponent. So, they have sayings that you've heard all your life, you don't know where it comes from. It's like, hey, this guy's real high-handed. Don't deal with him, he's high-handed. Heard that term before? What's that mean? He's got the upper hand, same thing. What's that mean? He has the advantage. That's what this does. What do you do? It's a game the kids play, but you learn that the person on top has the advantage. So you want to be the high, you're high-handed. You have the upper hand. That's what the saying comes from. You keep your hands above the opponent. So when you're in here, and this is just a drill that you do Because any of the locks you learn right-handed, you also want to learn left-handed. You might have to use it. You get in here, you didn't get in the lock, that other hand coming, I've got to block that. But I don't want to leave this hand in my face. So I see that hand coming, okay, I'm going to shove this hand, because I'm on the outside anyway. I'm going to shove this hand down and unload it. And then use that hand underneath and do the same lock, left-handed. Got that? Now, I don't want to spend a lot of time on this. Because I want to get into what I want to do. We're just getting started here. I want to get into the techniques. But this is just something you have to be watching for. This is something you just do back and forth. He throws this hand, you know, and you get here, then you throw that other hand, and you go around and you go to this side. Throw the other hand again, you just keep switching back and forth. Throw the other hand, you just keep moving. Get it? So, just do that once or twice. Get into the lock, I got my other hand, unload, in the lock. On the left hand, I'm going to pick him up and lock him on the other side. Just making it happen. So when you have the hand, you push this through, I'm taking his head, and I'm going forward with it. And the head of the hand is going in the opposite direction. And the neck, back where it's supposed to. Got it? Let's try that. Positioning where you want him. A lot of guys are just doing a control technique, they let the person go where they want to go. And you know, you want to put them where you want them to fall. So what we want you to do here is position where the brake happens on your right leg. That gives you a follow-up shot on the left. If you position and the brake goes on your left, you don't have a follow with your right. That's no problem, you just have to add a move. Okay, I'm sure what I'm talking about. Cut that there, man. You're in a position, you land here. You then, this one, if it was on this leg, it would be in his head. You land here, there's no price, you can back it up. Back it up. Throw here, right here, and then you have to back it on the head. You just put a hot switch on the head. And here's where a hot switch comes in handy. So there's no wrong way to do it, but you want to be in control where that is first place. If you did put a brake on your right leg, you did not control it. You didn't control his fall. It's like doing the sleeper, and you take him all the way to 430. There's a reason for taking him to 430, screws him in the ground, puts him on his side, and shows off his weapon. It's the same thing, you're trying to control his position, where it's going to happen the way you want it. So let it happen, try to get the brake on the right leg, back up the shot in the head with your knee, to the left. A few more times.
Yes, sir.
You have to let go. If you do a move that creates a little gap, puts you maybe even a danger position if you didn't hurt the guy. We're talking about being in the lock, that we're in the lock, and we didn't want him slipping out the back, because remember that's where you're going to crank it and possibly get us in trouble. But if now we got him hurt and pacified, enough pacifiers went in, we can take that chance. But I still have to let that hand go, see, into the lock to make my hand come in to do the work to start the spin. Okay, so now letting go, we substitute the hand for the leg. We came in, bring him down into the knee. Okay, shoot the leg out. Knees. So you expect your knees to let go with your hands. And then you substitute a lot of things like this you can do with your hand, you do with your leg. One more time. Go to the lock. On the lock, bring him down. Right into this knee. I don't want to hit him and let him stand back up. So I put him down and keep him down. So when I brought him down, I put the shot in, kick the leg overhead, and throw. And the brake goes right to the leg. I put the shot in. And now try to throw with your leg. Yes, sir. Be careful. Winnie the Pooh. I always talk about Winnie the Pooh. Everybody remembers Winnie the Pooh when he's I think it's alligator or tiger on the tail. Somebody yelling at let go, let go. He says, I'm not going to let go. He says, why? He says, because there's teeth on the other end. Yeah, generally yours. You let go and your teeth on the other end. Keep your control. We're going to add a lock here to make you keep the control. Okay. So the position. Now, I've been going on telling some of you guys not to use your hand. Always going to use your hand. What we did is we made you do the throw with your hand, and then I wanted you to just do the throw with your leg. Naturally, you always use your combination. You're going to help this out with your hand. You know, make sure you while you use the leg, but to make you just use the leg only makes you learn better or faster. is the way we wanted it. The brake on the right leg, back it up to the left. And I want you to add a hop switch now. Brake it again, you back it up with the left. This is what's going to go to our control and our turn. Now remember, above the knee to brake, below the knee to turn. Above to brake, below to turn. So we just broke it above the knee, and we had to control with this hand to be able to twist it and move it. So I drop it below my knee and shift my back foot and roll, and this puts him right on his face. Okay? I'm not losing the control with my knee. And I just shoot my right leg back, and I would drop and ease myself down. Here, you start yelling. Let's go the other direction. Who are you facing for?
He was facing doing that for us.
This is for us. Yes. When we made the brake, above to brake, we below, shift it, it goes in the spin. Hook the leg, just drop. You kick your feet back and you drop. So don't anybody do that. Really, you kick your feet back and you drop. Okay? Just go there. All you need to do is be able to put the foot there and see. I'm there. Don't need to drop. Got it? We're going to brake on your right leg with the knee in the head. Hop switch to re-brake. Hurt it some more. Below. Shift around pin. And you're there. Or you're winding up in a right neutral when you make the circle. It's fine. Where you wind up on the circle. And don't retrace a line that doesn't give you a shot. I'm talking about made a position. This is where we're supposed to be. Braking on the right, backing up to the left, hop switching, re-brake. Now, if I move my right foot too far back, I'll wind up in the left neutral. Oh, there's no problem there. When I do this, I'm way back here, and I say, you know, now I have to bring the leg forward again to catch the arm. Well, this side of the circle, there's no target. Okay, so if I got here, I'll go through this side before I make my turn.
Yes, sir.
So all I'm doing is just staying on the circle, and I get an extra movement. It's fine. And when you turn him over, you should have wound up in right wheel. So you made the first brake, the second brake. Don't shift this foot back so far. When you move, don't move your arm. I'm really seeing a right neutral, not a left neutral. So now all the leg has to do is drop back. Got it? And drop. If you're back here, no problem. Don't go on the side that doesn't do anything. And before you trap. There's no wrong place to be. You shouldn't have to move if that happens. If you want to be right neutral, so you just kick it back and drop. Okay, try. Left's coming, right's be right behind it. Right's coming, left's behind it. Bring those ways. Any quick questions?
Sir.
Okay, it's good working with you guys. A lot of new faces out there. Never worked with before. Can't say that no more. Not the last time.
You have a website that you talk to, questions or anything?
Oh, yeah. Doing good here on the internet. Yeah, I've got a website. It's AmericanKarate.com. I get pages and pages of email. Questions all the time, so feel free anytime you want. Email me, question, whatever, say hello, whatever. I'll see my schedule on there where I am around the country for doing seminars. Nothing else?
Yes, sir.
Okay. We're supposed to officially do the whole salutation, cast off the week. Knowledge and the weapon come together, bring the weak to the strong. The warrior and the scholar come together, go forth to fight, back to back. Pull the country back together.